Well, here we are once again. I'm gonna pick a new deck to do approximate week's worth of oracle readings for this week. I'm gonna have Bixby help because I love to introduce chance. The equation, actually, yeah, we're gonna pick a number between 1 and 8. 1 and 8 are gonna be my choice, which means I'm actually going to have to choose. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hi, Bixby. Choose a random number between 1 and 8.
Processing some equations. Okay, your number is 4.
4. Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, well, I'm looking at the Archeo, and I was going to use the Archeo. So I'll just go ahead and do it. I said, oh, crap, because the camera's in a different place today, and it's right in front of, like, everything. So for the next approximate week, we're going to use the Archeo. We're going to get a different Archeo type every day, and we're going to see, well, I can't guarantee that it's going to be different every day because we can get the same one every day, but we're going to see what else it gives us. And then I'll read, so what I'll do is I'll read I think it's like the image of the card that comes out, and then the persona at the bottom of the deck. So maybe that way we can get a little bit more. So it'd be cute if like one would come out. Let's see. What's going on in this time space? It feels like something is happening or about to happen. Don't ask me what though, because oh, come on! Don't do this to me. Don't go on the floor. Okay. So let's go. Let's see what comes out first. I'm uploading the video, so I gotta keep an eye on it. Oop. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll take this one. So the card is the Star Climber. The bottom of the deck is the Shadow Diver. The Star Climber and the Shadow Diver. Why not with the Jester right behind it? Because that's when the Star Climber came out last time. And I was like, oh, like Shadow Diver tried to come out. Well, that's where we're starting. So, who knew? The Star Climber. I'll read the attribute of the Star Climber with the persona of the Shadow Diver. The Star Climber places a ladder against the night sky and begins his ascent to the heavens. His intention is to reach beyond the mortal limits of gravity and explore the infinite possibilities of human consciousness. As he ascends, he looks down on everything below and is rewarded with an understanding of his purpose. Somewhere between childhood and adulthood, there are stories that, having tumbled down a forgotten rabbit hole, remain buried, squeezed small, and still angry. The Shadow Diver is a slinky, a hunter therapist with a nose for those bitter pills, those traumas that cling limpet-like to the walls of your psyche. He is a miner and an archaeologist whose agenda is to retrieve and bring to light. It is hard enough to face threats like isolation, sickness, or the malice of others, but it is harder to deal with an internal foreboding that can't be articulated. We cannot overcome fears that remain hidden, and in order to break free from their cold grip, they must first be named and acknowledged. If we do not, we will never have free choice, and we will forever be triggered into inappropriate actions by their rancor. So, I didn't notice this the first time. I only noticed it in the illustration on the book, but it's green at the bottom, right? So it feels like it gives us an opportunity to fall into our true heart. Um, there we go. Which is, it feels like it's who we are outside of all of those triggers from the trauma. Are there letters on all of these? I see an L and a K on this one. Maybe not. So I'm actually going to go for the wild unknown animal spirits. Because there's a dragon on animal spirits. Am I going to pull before and after the dragon? No. I could do dragon for the star climber and leviathan for our sea serpent for the shadow. Because that looks kind of like the sea serpent to me. It's interesting because both the star climber and the shadow diver can give us perspective. The first one is the attribute, right? So it's the attribute of the star climber. Oh, with the persona of the shadow diver. Okay. So it's like shadow work, but light work. And not light work in the terms that we usually, hear to like light workers. But like shadow work is when you dive into the shadow and then you heal stuff, you dig up traumas, you face them. But it's like instead of doing it in like a negative trauma response way, it's almost like a positive trauma response way. So it's like if you have a trauma, it's like triggering it with receiving what you didn't get rather than like that's like the star climber way. It's like if there was like you didn't get ice cream when you were little because your dad was Willy Wonka's dad and he was like, there's no point to ice cream. It's only going to rot your teeth. And so, whenever somebody tells you that you can't have something because it's bad for you, you think of your Willy Wonka father who's like, there's no point. It's only for pure enjoyment. There's no nutritional benefit. So instead of it being that, it's like ice cream. Someone brings you ice cream. And they don't even necessarily know that you had like Willy Wonka father, right? They're just like, hey, like there was ice cream and I thought of you, so here's some ice cream. Like it feels like that's the star climber way of triggering this thing. Now, what's interesting about the star climber way or the star climber trigger, it feels like you can have it if you can work through the trigger. Like if you can work through the trigger in that moment, it's yours. You can take it and be better off. You know what I mean? So let's see what animal wants to come out for this. And another thing about the star climber, it's about, again, like putting things in perspective and getting a deeper understanding from that perspective. And so I'm trying to think about it from the star climber. I mean, I guess from the shadow diver or the star climber, I don't know if it. From the shadow diver perspective, it's like you could see internally what one thing, how many of those things it affects. And that's by like different triggers in different areas. But from a more external star climber energy, I wonder if it is more like externally focused or if it's more future focused. And that came out for Leo and Taurus, I think, in a way. It's like the future is coming. Something is happening. And are we going to be in a position to receive more of what we want or what we don't necessarily care for? The fox comes out with the bumblebee at the bottom of it. I think the thing about the bumblebee is its size. Like, it can be hard to miss. Also, this is earth and air. So I feel like that's giving us a little bit of this up in the stars and then down in the shadow energy. Now, do stars have shadows? I guess stars wouldn't have shadows because they emit light. Only things that don't emit light have shadows. It would just be like the darkness outside of the, like, this is the bumblebee, this is its light. And like that's everything that is so far from the star light bumblebee that it doesn't like illuminate it. You know what I mean? The darkness of space, basically. I'm gonna pull before and after the Seven of Swords in the Wild Unknown because it has a fox on it, honestly. Do I have a deck with a bumblebee in it? Or with a bee? Probably, but I can't think of. Wait. The Threads of Fate Oracle cards has a bee in the transformation card. But I'm not trying to get another Oracle deck. Because it feels like with the Fox energy, it feels like our default, our go-to is shadow work. Because, I mean, that's more or less all that we can control. We can't control what comes into our experience. But we can control, like, what we choose to do. So, like, we can choose to go inside whenever. Six of Wands, Father of Cups, Three of Wands with the Sun under that is at the bottom of the deck. So it feels like there's an energy of transformation that gives us an advantage in a situation. And it feels like with the Father of Wands being the Black Swan, like it takes us out of the game. Or it's like we're not down in the weeds of it. Or it's like we're playing a different game altogether. The Three of Wands, it feels like it's a window to reality, which feels a little bit more like where the majority of the collective conscious might be. Now, it feels like there's movement away from that window. Like it feels like the Three of Wands gets smaller and smaller and smaller as you come into a different space. And then the Sun is there. So again, the thing about star climber light work versus shadow work is it's like if it's a shadow work trigger, it's typically something that we don't want. So after we work through it or whatever, we disengage or we do whatever we need to do to conclude that cycle. But with the star climber light work trigger, if it's something that we like, it's something that we can invite into our lives. So it's like positive reinforcement rather than negative reinforcement. And maybe taking it is what gets us farther outside of our old story, farther outside of the shadow, more into the light. Basically, learning to be a butterfly instead of that caterpillar. Who am I looking for? Seven of Swords. Oh, it's right here. Five of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. 10 of Swords and the 8 of Cups are outside of this. Who was that? Oh, I got more. Oh, there's okay. 8 of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Who's with this 8 of Swords? Because that's the butterfly in the cocoon. The Ace of Wands is with that 8 of Swords. This is interesting. It feels like the butterfly inside of the cocoon blips out of that reality. So instead of like breaking out of the cocoon and then like worrying about like flying as soon as you make it out of this transformation, because if you fall, you're going to be impaled. It feels like it just like it blips. It does like that thing where it folds in on itself. It's like that kind of blip, and then it's just somewhere else. It's probably where it wants to be with that Ace of Wands. Who else was on the other side? I already put the cards back. I don't remember. The 10 of Swords is here, though. Oh, was it the 8 of Swords? The 10 and the 8 of Swords? With this bull, it's making me think of Taurus. And right now, Taurus holds Uranus. So it's making me think of Uranus in Taurus, with the North Node also being in Taurus. North Node being in Taurus while Uranus is in Taurus means that whatever opportunity Uranus is going to provide while it's in Taurus, North Node means it's for us to take that opportunity. Now, Uranus isn't necessarily an easy energy, but Uranus in Taurus, it gives us the ability to break out of things that we've been stuck in. Like systems, ways of being that have become fixed, regardless of how comfortable we are in them. Now, with the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands, this feels like there's a limit that's been reached. Like there's no more space to put any more Pentacles in this 9 of Pentacles. Now, if we look at the 10 of Pentacles, we know that the solution is to put the next pentacle inside of this pentacle. And it almost feels like that's the blip or the blink. I'm going to find that 10 of Pentacles. It was the 8 of Cups, 10 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. It's like it'll be a thing in different, mostly supernatural or whatever, fantasy TV shows, where it's like there's a place where everything that is lost goes. So like every time you lose a sock in the dryer or the washer, it pops up in some troll's house. I don't know. With the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Swords, it feels like for every broken dream or for every I guess dream, or for everything desired that was given up on, it goes somewhere. And this feels like an opportunity to end up in that place where they go. But to not end up there to be reminded how those dreams and wishes will never be fulfilled, but it's to end up there and to somehow be able to now fulfill them. I'm looking for the Ten of Pennies. Did I just pass it? I might have. Because I forgot what card I was looking for for a second. I don't think I did. Oh, here it is. Okay, I didn't. Girl, what is this? So we got Temperance and the Son of Cups. Temperance and the Son of Cups. If we temperance the Son of Cups, we get the Son of Wands, and the Son of Wands came out after the Ten of Pentacles. The Fool and the Son of Wands. So exactly. Because now it can leap, now it can do the thing. Now there's like less baggage. Or baggage. I don't know who says baggage, but there's less baggage. And so we can do the thing. Oh, and look, it's XO hugs and kisses from the universe. I love that. Son of Wands and Temperance. In pursuing the thing, in engaging with it, that's going to be what heals this. And it feels like it's healing in a sense of like, it's what, it feels like it's what could have always been done. Or it feels like, it's like after you do it, or after you get in the energy of it, it doesn't carry the weight of like, oh, it's not going to happen. Or it doesn't carry the weight of realism. It's like, well, let me be realistic. Let me temper my expectations and let me not get ahead of myself. So that way I'm not disappointed if it doesn't happen. And like with this Seven of Swords energy, especially in this deck, it's just more so like something withheld because of knowledge, information, or perspective, insight that we didn't have at the time. And so we moved on with the Six of Swords. It's like we moved on from the situation because what else were we going to do? So there is an energy of reclamation in that. And there's a lot of excitement between the Knight of Wands and the Fool. So I would say it's in with Bumblebee. I'd say it's definitely a time to follow joy, follow passion, and to not sell yourself short, to not sell these incoming energies short, to just like know that it's like you've changed. You're now the one who can do it. You're the one who doesn't have to sit by or let it go anymore. So yeah, this is definitely like an Aksunade energy. Aksunade being the brilliant dawn, the blinding dawn, where light comes in this space where there was only darkness before. And so we feel a sensitivity and we react to it maybe in like a similar way than a dark night, but for a completely different reason. It's because the light is there. It's because the thing is there now. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about. See, there's a pentacle inside of the center pentacle. And when you blip into this, hey Holly, how you doing? When you blip into this other reality or dimension or whatever, you travel through the bumblebee hole. Instead of a wormhole, it's a beehole. I don't know. Like these limitations and restrictions are gone. Like it's wide open. And look, the outer ring that these pinnacles are touching, it's the green. It's like that green. And so now, because of the star climber, we actually like ascend the stairs, right? So we go out, we build out into the blue and the indigo and the violet or whatever. Beyond what was sort of hemming us in, holding us in before. And wait, I kind of wanted to use the runes, honestly. So I'm going to pull before and after Ing, because this makes me think of Ing. And then I'm going to end it with that. I'm going to use the Archeo as the Oracle deck this week. And so some days, I'm not going to say every day, I'm not going to say most days, but some days I'm going to come on like I did with the Threads of Fate Oracle cards and just sort of like see what comes out and where we are. So I'll give it 2 more, 1 more. Okay. All right, get in. Cut. Let's see where it is. Lafruma. Are these all in reverse? Yeah, they are. Lafruma is at the bottom. With Lafruma in reverse, though, it's an elven light that supports. So it feels like when you have when there's a sapling and they have like those supports that make sure they grow up and they don't lean or whatever. That's what it feels like. I mean, and then Godmouth is behind that. And then Night is behind that. It feels like Godmouth in between Elven Light and Night. That's us. And our ability to react to situations, to show up in ways and to take actions that get us in the direction that we want to go in, rather than being triggered into repeating a cycle or staying in a certain environment. Right. Matthew. Excuse me. Well, I'm glad you did. It's nice to see you. How you doing, Matt? Maddie Hugh. What color are you today? I'm just playing. Like HUE. Get it. I'm tired. Don't mind me. Who am I looking for? I forgot already. Who did I say I was looking for? Ing. I was like, when I see it, I'll know. That's what I said during Taurus's. I was like, oh, when I see Ran's husband, I'll know. I was like, it's not Aegir. Passed right by him. It was Aegir. Oof. What was meant to happen. Whatever. Ing, where are you? Where's Ing? Hello? Are you in here? Ing, where are you? Woo, goodness. I had to get all the way almost to the bottom. Ing is between Kanafa and Eigeshomer. Ooh, this is almost like shield and spear. Maybe. Oh, snap! Glad to hear it. I was gonna say I wish I was doing good. I am. I'm doing well. It's just work. It's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. Okay, it's fine. Ow. Well, I feel like I need to sit with like better posture so that when I breathe, it actually like goes into my lungs. You know what I mean? Ooh. Okay. So before Kanafa is Swelgeness and Wackened. Swelgeness is the past whirlpool, given more of that like the trauma energy. Wackened is watch your animal guide. It feels like Swelgeness like opens up. Or yeah, like that. It's like you pop this open and you like bend it back, and then some watcher animal guide attaches this. Or it provides it. Honestly, it feels like it provides this point, and then from this opened up Swelgeness, we can make the trip to that point to connect those dots. Right? And then we have Kanafa. And then it's like if you pop these up, or honestly, like you would have to swing this up this way and then swing this one up that way. You would get Earth Grab, which is a card that came out after Eigeshomer. And then from Earth Grab, you can get to Ood by like sort of like rounding it out. One second. Like that feels like that transition. But there's something else that happens there. Or those are 2 points. So it feels like there's a little bit of a crossroads actually after. So how do these fit here? Oop, oop. Well, Eigelsalmer is a stop sign. This is how I'm reading the runes. Okay. Maybe it means something different to you. Eigelsalmer is a stop sign. And it's what happens when we reach it's like a liquid. when the liquid fills the container. It's Eigenschalmer. And it's because I did them in black. It's like those things keep this from being able to expand outward anymore. It's like it starts with this ring and then they expand outward, and as they go a certain distance apart, they like split, they break. And so there's like 4 rings on this. Treat it like a tree. So in the 4th year, in the 4th term, like that's where this is. Oh, and that's Kanafa. Because the red turns blue. Like the inner ring is always red. It turns blue when it expands. Right. Oh. Hold on, wait. Oof. That sounds like one of those. Oh, the moon was in Pisces. Okay. I was going to say that sounds like one of those dreams that people have when, like, what, Neptune first goes retrograde or Neptune goes direct or something is aspecting Neptune or something is going on with Pisces. And people are like, oh, my dreams are crazy right now. But with Kanafa being Knave, there's an energy of like something that needs to mature. Oh, Eigenschalmer. Duh. When I was like, something is like, it's filled the vessel, it can't go anymore. That's this. It's stopping this from expanding anymore. So that's for me, this is on the Virgo Pisces axis. For me, like Pisces is expansion outward, Virgo is expansion inward. So it's like Virgo can compartmentalize and make space inside of the room rather than like tearing down the walls and like making the room bigger. Is there like an interdimensional sign or just like this? It's a transdimensional, interdimensional energy. Because it's like on the XYZ plane, there's no more space. Or it's like on the, so on the XY plane, there's no more space. But on the Z plane, there is, which is how you can stack a pinnacle on top of a pinnacle. And so now it's like it's giving it depth and dimension rather than it just being flat. Now we're going to start putting stuff on top of each other. Which again is like it's the introduction of another dimension. Length is one, width is one, height is one. 3 dimensions. Now we can take it from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, don't matter. It's just a new one. But with Kanefa, I don't know if this is like approving or if there's going to be approving to break into the new one. I mean, with Swelgenus here and the Watcher, like there's an energy that it's going to be seeing. I mean, it's like you could say there's an energy watching because it came out, but it's like it is, but it isn't. Just watching to see if you're going to make the same choices and decisions that you used to make. So you get caught in a trauma loop. You get triggered into a trauma loop. Or if you move forward. 29 is an 11, 55 is 55. So there are 2 master numbers after Eigenschalmer. And with Earth Grap, There's an energy of it's like the thing is right under your nose, but you have to dig to get it because it's like the grave, right? Like, so it's buried. But there's something about the vision of Ood. And that's why this feels a little crossroady, because there's like this one path, this one terminating end here. And then there are like three terminating ends here. But in Ool, let's do it this way. They sort of like branch out more. So it's like that one continues, and then these two continue. And that makes me think of Trident. So Neptune. Neptune is retrograde in Pisces right now. So it's going to move into a sextile with Uranus at some point. By that time, though, the North Node. Actually, can I see when that happens? Because I don't think that's going to be while the node is in Taurus. It might not be when the node is in Aries. So I almost wonder if Uranus in Taurus is going to sextile Neptune in Pisces while the node is in Pisces. I don't know. But anyway. That's this. Interesting. Again, the thing that I like about the light work versus the shadow work is with light work, it's a prize that like you can keep. Again, it's like it's probably something that you want, so you can go ahead and like keep it. Rather than in shadow work, it's like almost about realizing that you don't want it and doing something to make sure that you don't get it again. And so you're kind of sort of left like waiting for the next thing. It's like, okay, I passed the test and I didn't go into this cycle again, but when is my new cycle gonna start? And so I almost wonder if, well, I was gonna say I almost wonder if this isn't like if it's just the natural part of coming into the more, because I think Gemini, yeah, the light of Gemini had that, where it's like all the healing's been done, you just need to like blossom in the light. Like you butterfly now, so enjoy pollen and nectar, you know what I mean, rather than leaves. I don't know, whatever caterpillars eat. Okay, I'm gonna get some final cards. Final room, final room, final room, final room, final room, final room. I'll take you. Who are you? Ooh. Kanish. I don't know how to pronounce these. Cunning. I learned to know is the one that came out. This one for me is lunar eclipse. I'm pretty sure. And then the solar eclipse is the other one. Which one was it? It's the one that's like this, but not this. No, this one is the solar eclipse. No. Because I explore engage. I think this one is my solar eclipse. I can't remember anymore. I can't remember if this is my solar or lunar. This one might be my solar. It's one of the eclipses, okay? I remember it's one of the eclipses. I don't remember which one. Because I feel like when the line was on it, that was my solar eclipse card. And when it was passing by, that was lunar. I don't know. I don't remember. It's one of my eclipse cards. I learned to know. I feel like there's a certain permanence with this, right? It's like when you learn to know that's something that you're going to take forward with you. It's something that's going to become a new truth or a new belief, at least temporarily. Bottom of the deck is apple bearer, fruit bearing, and offer. So I think this is the opportunity. Let me find it again. It's explore, raise, I think. I explore and engage. Like this is like version one. They've gone through several iterations since then. And they all have like poems and stuff now too. And y'all will see them in printed form that you can get your hands on sometime relatively soon in the grand scheme of things. I'm kidding. Um, but this is like, the first version that was available. This is not one of the updated ones. Wait, a different card? Blue line, red center, red line. Yeah, I think that was it. Oh, look, there's the Fruma. So with this opportunity or gift in Apple Bearer, it feels like there's an opportunity for it to just like for us to receive it and then it kind of like passes us by. Or there's an opportunity to like in the moment. I feel like either way it's fine, but something about this one is like in the moment to be able to see um to be able to see it's not the depth. It is the depth of it. To be able to because it feels like there's something more that it can like mean or stand for, right? There's something that it signifies. There's something that the opportunity signifies. It's like it's more than just an opportunity, it's more than just whatever. It's almost like one of those like, wait, if this is true, then what else is also true? Or like if this is now possible, then what else is possible? It's like the gateway blessing. You know what I mean? It's the one that leads to many more. Yeah, I was like, oof, I almost put animals back with the tarot. I was like, hold up. I know I got animals here. That one feels good. Exploring. Okay. Oof. I feel like I need a like not crunch. Because I'm sitting like I need to like open up. You know what I mean? That was a decent shuffle. Oh, that was quick. 9 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Cups. Sun and the moon. Maybe it is solar eclipse, yeah. And then the 2 of Cups, where the sun and the moon meet. Oh, look at all these cups. For the last 2 years, I mean, my posture in general is not great. So if you've only been having bad posture for 2 years, I might slap your beat. That's fine. I'm kidding. I almost wonder when the rare gazelle is going to come out with the crows, because I see 3 crows here. Where the 4th crow? I've been seeing crows on Twitter. That's my pun. My pun for yesterday was, it's like you can't have a murder of crows without probable cause or something like that. I was like, okay. Because Reem came back yesterday. I was like, okay. Came back as if she went anywhere. I mean, anyway. The rare gazelle is back, and our lives are all better for it. I'm excited. I can't wait. I miss the hello, beautiful family. My name is Reem. This is the Rare Gazelle. Welcome to your October 2022, or your full moon in Sagittarius. That happened a long time ago. One of those was a lunar eclipse, wasn't it? No. That wasn't Sagittarius this year, was it? Because I remember the 8 of Swords came out in the Revelations edition, SKT, and the moon was red. And I was like, see, this is that lunar eclipse. So maybe it is the lunar eclipse. I don't know. Anyway, there's a sun and a moon here, but they're both reflected off of the water. I feel like with the sun or the moon being reflected off of the water, it's that energy again, where it's like how we react to the situation or the choice that we make is what really sort of determines what path will unfold. And again, with the star climber attribute, with the persona of the shadow diver means like it's probably going to be triggering. But since it's a star climber attribute, like it's going to be triggering in a good way, or it's going to be like a good thing that triggers rather than like a bad one. You know what I mean? Whatever you thought wasn't possible for you, or whatever you thought you would never get, you might get an opportunity. Will you take it? That's on you. Ooh, baby, there's a shark in the water. The rabbit is at the bottom of the deck again. The rabbit was behind the bee. The rabbit was at the bottom of the deck looking at me. I was like, I don't feel like talking about the rabbit today. It's there again. With the snake and the shark. The snake and the shark are the cards that came out, which is almost that sea serpent energy, but it's not that sea serpent energy. The snake and the shark feels like self-cannibalizing. Because we know that the Ouroboros is the snake that bites its own tail, but it feels like it's starting to like chomp, like it's eating itself. And with the rabbit at the bottom of the deck, it's out of like fear. The rabbit in this deck talks about negative self-fulfilling prophecies. And it's because she shares the story like there's a rabbit that's like, oh, we're going to get eaten. We're going to get eaten. Oh my gosh. And then an eagle is flying overhead one day and it hears the rabbit talking about how it's going to get eaten. And the eagle's like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, I wasn't even thinking about rabbit today, but now that you mention it, I am feeling a little peckish. And then it snatches the rabbit. And it feels like with this self-cannibalizing energy, it feels like, I don't know if it's like going to be more in energies that we come into or if it was true of the past, but it's like it's someone who works against their own interests, and so they limit their own opportunities. Like, things are being handed, delivered left and right, but it's not taking any of that. And it feels like as the snake consumes itself, the circle gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's like the flower of life, right? I don't know much about any sacred geometry, honestly, but I'm pretty sure that's the flower of life. So as the snake consumes itself, it feels like the richness in life like diminishes and diminishes and diminishes. Like it's cutting itself off from all the magic of what like a beautiful, effortless, synchronistic experience can be. Not to say that there's never going to be anything that has to be done. And I think also with the energy of the shark, it is a little bit of a misconception. It's like the fear is like not pre-programmed. I mean, kind of. It's like we're conditioned to be afraid of it. So, like, there's this fear that is conditioned sort of into us. And then it within us just like runs itself like rampant. It's almost like being infected, honestly. Because you can get infected by what, like 5 bacterias or viruses, and then within your body they replicate. So you don't get infected with the amount that you have by the end of like its most whatever virulent, or it's the where the bioburden is the heaviest or whatever. It's like it replicates within you, and they're designed that way. Because then they don't have to do much. They just take advantage of everything that you already have. Or at least that's how viruses work. With viruses, they take advantage of the cell to assemble more viruses. I think bacteria like replicate by themselves. They don't need you to do that because bacteria are alive. Viruses are honestly kind of wild. Viruses are just like rogue code in a protein code that gets in, messes with DNA, and then tells the cell, hey, make this. And the cell's like, okay. Wow, this looks legit. It looks like everything else in here. So yeah, we'll make this. Oof. Anyway. I don't know. Anyway. To stick with, you seem to be in the prey half, the time in the predator, the other half, to be honest, you don't want to be either. You can set it up that round. But yeah, that's what makes this particularly vicious. Because it's like the human mind or the person themselves will carry it on. All you have to do is plant the seed. All someone else has to do is plant the seed. If we water it, the resulting infestation or the resulting state of the garden or the ecosystem, it's not like our fault because it's not about assigning blame. But it's like the outside doesn't have to do all that. And so it's for us to eventually become aware enough of what we nurture and propagate within ourselves, right? It's like it might be real. I think it is real. The story about the 2 wolves inside of you, and the one that wins is the one that you feed. So it's like, well, just stop feeding into things that you don't want. Feed into the stuff that you do. Star climb, and then you'll find out that the world can be a completely different place. Who did? Oh, we got lost in the shuffle. I thought I saw like a wolf or something. Even though I wasn't talking about wolves. So. The final Archeo for today, a concluding Archeo call. These cards are, like relatively. I gotta like. Oh, two of them. Fine. It's the wolf. The wolf. The wolf and the wolf and the alchemist. What is up with this single snake Caduceus? This one snake. Where the other snake at? Where's the other snake? Bottom of the deck is intimate. Oh. Wolf alchemy is intimate. Okay. Why ain't no intimacy here with only one snake? Wolf alchemist. Wolf alchemy. Wolf alchemy is interesting because we see wolf social dynamics. It's like, there's the lone wolf thing, but then like wolves also travel in packs. So like, is it a lone wolf or does the wolf have a pack? Maybe the answer is both. And in that, we go back to the wolf that you feed is the wolf that wins. And so it's almost like learning when to engage, when to integrate yourself into a certain energy, to what extent you do that, and then also like what role you have within that community. Right? Because I feel like everybody want to be an alpha, but not everybody wants to be at the back of the pack helping and supporting. Like that's what it means to be the alpha wolf. Like that means you're the one protecting the young, the old, and the enfeebled. It's not just about getting as much power as you can and doing this and doing that. Like it comes with responsibility. What's interesting about the animals of like, especially the wolf and the shark, it's more how like we view them as a creature and how we view their social dynamics. And we might not even, hey David, how you doing? We might not even have it right. You know what I mean? Wolf is like, we do what? Wolf was also the one that waited beyond the veil with all of the Watchers, and Wackens came out. So there is an energy, it's almost like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Right? So there is a second snake here. We just don't see it. The second snake is opposite this one. So it'll go dupe and coil and then come out this way. I got lost, but there you go. So one snake is two. But it's like this is the one that we control, or that's the one that we focus on, or we're supposed to. Because our actions have equal and opposite reactions. And so like there was the point of shadow diving and setting the energetic stage by choosing what to like pull our energies away from and to redirect and invert that energy into ourselves in those healing processes and as we re-energize. And so now it's like we pulled back from that one. And with the star climber, the thing that we attach to next is coming. And it's like, again, it's going to be the things that we want, right? It feels like, again, like it probably will, it doesn't have to, it might still trigger a lot of things. Like, whoa, am I really ready? Am I really worthy? Am I really deserving? But it sets the energetic stage just like the other one. It's almost like the same thing in a sort of sense. Like detaching from what you don't want is energetically similar to attaching what you do want, but they're different. Okay. All right. Well, with all that being said, I'm gonna go because I've been going to work late. I mean, luckily, I kind of sort of make my own hours. I guess I have that luxury, if I call it that, but I'm trying to go to bed so I can wake up, so I can get to work, so I can get off of work. That's the important part. It's not me going into work late that's the problem. It's me having to stay later than I want to. That's the problem. Because if I still left on time and it wasn't no issues, then hey. I feel like there are so many layers on these cards that I don't even necessarily get into. But that's fine. Oh, excuse me. I hope you all have an amazing whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And when the good stuff comes, I hope that you can take it. Because, I mean, oof. I feel like, we get enough of the not great. It's time for the amazing to just like come in and be amazing. It's time for us to be amazing with the amazing and to experience who we can be in the light of accepting opportunities rather than like who we can be when we're strong and not doing stuff that we know we don't need to be doing no more. Excuse me, no problem. See you all next time I see ya. I guess this is the deck we're gonna be working with this week, so I feel like this worked though. I feel like this it eased me into it. It gave me something I can work with between the attribute and the persona. We'll see if it's as nice in the future.